Welcome to Salem, Indiana for the final short track race of the 2018 North American Auto Club Challenge Series, the car Klutz 200. And folks, before we even get to today's action, we need to address a controversy that has dominated the headlines over the last few weeks of the 3-week break. Following the Grand Prix of Trois-Rivières, Ashcroft Family Racing filed an official protest claiming Luke Pellerin had jumped the final restart ahead of Thomas Tucker. After 3 days of careful review, race officials upheld that protest, and you can see that on the replays we're showing to you. Pellerin was ahead at the start-finish line when the green flag waved, and that's a jumped restart, and it comes with consequences. So here's your revised official results from Trois-Rivières. Stan Gustafson, of course, retains his victory. Thomas Tucker gets promoted to second place, with Charlie Faulkner and Becky Pellerin moving up to third and fourth. Ashley Richardson claims her 7th top 5 of the season in 5th. While rounding out the top 10, you got there Joey Anderson, Ryan Faulkner, Meg McDonald, and Corbin Dempsey right there joins the top 10 after a very difficult event where he finished in 11th. And Luke Pellerin, with his penalty, falls to 12th place, the last car on the lead lap. And as such, let's talk about what this means for the championship. Because Becky Pellerin maintains her points lead, it remains the same gap, 12 points ahead of Charlie Faulkner, but here's the big change. Her brother Luke sees his deficit towards her balloon by 46 points. He lost 41 points with that penalty, dropped from 2nd to 12th, while Becky gained 5 more by moving 1 position up. So that shifts a lot of stuff. As you see, Ryan Faulkner, Corbin Dempsey, and Lucy Martin have their gaps to Pellerin increased slightly, and Riley McKee has his gap increased by 5 points, which leaves him barely hanging on to mathematical eligibility. And as a direct consequence, Lukestar Motorsports are not happy at all. And you could see that when they rolled off of the haulers this weekend, because both Rebecca and Luke showed up with paint schemes deliberately mimicking the Ashcroft cars of Thomas Tucker and Boyd Abbott, as you see it on your screen. Team owner and the mother of both Rebecca and Luke, Angel Gray, her response when asked was, quote, "Maybe if we have cars like theirs, the officials will give us some slack." End quote. Quite a statement. Now let's try to move on to this weekend's racing. Because starting from the pole is Ryan Faulkner, joined on the front row by Kate Taylor. That pole position gives Faulkner a crucial 20-point advantage over most title contenders before the green flag even drops. Corbin Dempsey and Lee Schmidt also, in the case of Dempsey, he also makes some championship headway with his 12 bonus points for starting 4th. The Barton sisters, Lucy needing a strong finish to stay in title contender, but of course Tammy looking to lock up Rookie of the Year this season, Caitlin Richler, and a surprise short track performance by Hibiki Murata closing the top 8. And quite a performance by the driver of the 52, showing up very well on the short tracks. We expected more of her performances to come in the road courses, to be honest. 38 cars attempted to qualify for 36 spots, so missing the show are only Rachel Jackson and Jared Green for Speed Enterprises. Salem Speedway is a .555 mile short track with an unusual characteristic. It has 33 degrees of banking in the corners. That matches the highest banking we will see all this season. And here's the thing. What are the tracks with the most banking? The New York Auto Ring and the Talladega Super Speedway. That high banking means blistering lap times for a short track and not a lot of braking. But at the same time, we're expecting the fuel windows to be around 145, 150 laps, tire wear coming into play slightly earlier on this rough old surface, so we expect multiple pit stops just so that drivers get fresh rubber and battle each other on that fresh rubber. And as such, tire preservation won't be helped by the weather because it is 64 degrees despite the clear skies. I think we have lingered enough. Let's go racing. The pace car is out, Ryan Faulkner has control of the field, and the green flag is in the air. We are on here at Salem. 200 laps, and this is getting very close in the championship final short track race of the season. Kate Taylor already trying to have a look on turn number 3, not enough. Corbin Dempsey having a very good start, already takes third place from Lee Schmidt. A little further back, battle for 9th position between Caitlin Richler and Becky Pellerin. They make a little bit of contact, Pellerin getting a little bit too aggressive on the start of the running in that protest 27, while Corbin Dempsey still running in third place, chasing down the 25 as we are 4 laps in. Lee Schmidt hanging on to the 4th position, the Barntons running 5th and 6th. Kendra Brittany, not a very good qualifying effort at all. She is with Ethan Collins, the race winner at Toronto and Flemington, not having a good time in the high bank fast short track. Her thing was the flatter ones at Toronto and Flemington. They are also very fast, but much flatter. She seemed to have adapted to those much better. Look, Pellerin, not a good qualifying effort after the penalty, but he's right behind a man he is mimicking in the number 9, Thomas Tucker, certainly having a time looking at his mirror. While the Barntons continue to battle now for the 5th position. Lucy on the inside, Temi on the outside. The Lioness gonna try to make a move. Is it gonna be enough? No, not yet. There's still side-by-side problems for Boyd Abbott in the 99. Right front down. And the Master Spark 99 is gonna have to go to the pits very early. Abbott's gonna lose a couple of laps due to a tire blasting very early on into goings on. A little bit ahead of him, running in 7th place, battling for the 7th position against Charlie Faulkner's Hibiki Murata. Hibiki having a very good short track run. She's been very good on the road courses, especially last season. This year she's had a more difficult year, but she's running well. She's doing everything she can, but she cannot fight against a hard-nosed short tracker like Faulkner. Vernon Hargrove having a very good early goings on there, running in 11th place. Ahead of Peter Johnson, another very good run for a driver that is not used to run that well ahead. While you see there the top 6 under a little bit of a blanket right now, slowly catching the rest of the field as we reach lap number 18 of 200. Rick Lewis is going to be the first car to be lapped under green. He holds back the 89 a little bit, and you're going to see why, because here comes the other Chrysler. The 81 of Corbin Dempsey makes a move on the inside of Kate Taylor for 2nd place, pushed by the 43 of Lee Schmidt, and there goes the 81 for 2nd place. Is gonna try to make something happen, but Ryan Faulkner finally passes the 74, and the 74 hanging on the outside actually gets a good run, but eventually he falls behind the 81, and then the 71, another Chrysler, is about to be lapped by the leaders, and that is helping the 81 quite a bit. So Danny Wright showing one of the reasons Barucho Racing such an asset for them whenever they show up, because Shield is the only Chrysler team in this series, so whenever Barucho shows up, there's 2 Chrysler teams. They can actually do manufacturer place that other teams do, like for example the 52 and the 69 when they are in aligned with Honda, or the 58, the 9 and the 99 because they are aligned with Ford. But we are now focusing on Ashley Rickardson, who is running in 13th place, battling with Mac Henley. These 2, if you recall, almost were teammates back in 2013, but Ashley actually had her leg injury in 2012, and so they never been teammates because Ashley was never able to return to S2 Motorsports. As you follow right together with Luke Pellerin and now Thomas Tucker looking back at the front end of the 88. Those 2 have been together since the green flag dropped, and I'm pretty sure because we've been seeing the stink eye that the Luke Star guys have towards the Ashcroft guys. The Ashcroft guys have toward the Luke Star guys after what Angel Gray spoke about this whole weekend. So it's been a lot of trash talking, a lot of angry flying around. I'm surprised we haven't got a fight before the weekend began. And whoa, contact there. Kate Taylor, Charlie Faulkner, Lucy Barton get together. Caution is out early. Hibiki Murata, Vernon Hargrove, everyone's slowing down. Trouble there. A couple of cars flying in. Contact there. A big stack up happening. Ruby Carson sent around. We got trouble there. Colin Kaiser, Becky Pellerin get together. They're trying to race back to the line. Becky Pellerin into Kristen Young, Mega McDonald, Colin Kaiser involved. What the hell just even happened racing back? We just had a bigger crash than the caution that originated it. Let's look at Rick Lewis as the track blocks, but he's able to break down and miss the trouble. Together with Boyd Abbott and Peter Johnson, they're going to gain a lot of position, but you're going to see there what happens. Mac Henley tries to slow down, hits his own teammate. He just doesn't have time. Hargrove then hit the 52 Hibiki Murata. Brett Finley was unable to slow down, tried to brake, hit the 34 of Mega McDonald very hard. We think he's done. Ruby Carson got sent around. You're going to ride reward on Hargrove. We're having to use all the onboards we have. He hits the rear end of the 52. Then he gets hit by Mac Henley. So we think Hargrove's also going to be done as a result of this. A lot of trouble. You see there Ruby Carson, how she was sent around. She tried to get it back together, got a little tag from Murata when Murata was slowing down. Then Murata got hit by the 28 of Hargrove. Then she tries to drive down. Ruby Carson tries to drive up. Carson gets sent around. And then they finally slowly get back going. But we're going to ride with Becky Pellerin because the championship leader into the wars very early. You see how she's going to try to slowly drive away. She's going to try to go to the inside. She got tagged by, we think it was Kristen Young, which is why she hit Kristen Young again. As they ride back, Scott Overton flies in, and then she tries to retaliate, and then she gets loose into Mega McDonald and Colin Kaiser and Ruby Carson. You ride with Mega McDonald after she got hit by Brett Finley. You see there how the 27 just gets thrown in her path. She gets hit by the 30 and the 77, and that is a lot of trouble very early on. And Finley, Hargrove, and Kaiser will be done for the day very early. A shame for Colin Kaiser. He was trying to work his way forward, and a shame for Hargrove. He was running very well inside the top 15, and it ends melancholically 28 laps into the running. As you see, everybody just comes in to get tires and fix all that damage, aside from a few drivers. Lee Schmidt stays out, Peter Johnson stays out, Caitlin Richler stays out, and Thomas Stucker stays out. Luke Pellerin stayed out, but then he pitted on the second lap of caution, so he's just going to restart at the back anyway. So we're seeing a few plays getting built up, a little bit of playing happening already. A few drivers are going to try to stay. You see there now Luke Pellerin pitting on the second lap of caution. A few teams are gonna try to pit now. A few are gonna ride with the tires they have, and they're gonna try to overcut the field on tires, which is an interesting strategy because this track has chewed on tires since practice began, and because only the top 4 right now didn't pit, Ryan Faulkner is gonna come out the pits in 5th, so he's still gonna be very close within striking distance, and if his new tires are that good, then he's just going to be able to blast past Lee Schmidt, Peter Johnson, Caitlin Richler, and Thomas Stucker. We'll see about that. We were going to have the restart on lap 34, but then Kira Downer blew up, and they had to clean that up, so it was a little bit delayed. We have the restart waved off, but we eventually will get back green on lap number 35. A shame for Kira Downer. She was running in 26th. Green flag is out on lap number 36. We are back green, and you see there Johnson unable to catch the 43 early on, but he's gonna try to make that difference up as the laps wind up, while Lee Schmidt continues to hold on as we enter lap number 37. Ryan Faulkner already setting up the move under the number 9. Not enough, not just enough yet, but he's gonna try to dive right there. Still Corbin Dempsey having a look-see there on the inside. The battle for the 5th position continues as Peter Johnson trying to catch the number 9. There's contact there. Thomas Tucker around. He slides down, gets tagged by Ronnie Samples, gets hit by Kendra Brittany. Luke Pellerin is involved. Big incident with Luke Pellerin and Kendra Brittany. Ryan Faulkner got a little bit impatient, got into the back of the number 9. The 9 slid down, got hit by the 26, and there goes the camera. A lot of damage in the hood and the roof. In the hood and the roof of the 88. Luke Pellerin and Thomas Tucker are done for the night. As you see there, Joey Anderson, Charlie Faulkner decide to pit. Becky Pellerin and Mega McDonald as well. They are the only drivers to pick the pit stops on this caution. So Lee Schmidt, Peter Johnson, and Caitlin Richler remain as the top 3 because 4th place Thomas Tucker has just been wiped out. Green flag on lap number 45. Battle for the lead ensuing between the 69 and the 43, but the 69 cannot catch. The 89 catches the 2 and is gonna try to make the move on the inside, and he goes smooth by. So the tires are starting to make a difference because there goes Ryan Faulkner on the inside, there goes Corbin Dempsey on the inside of the 2, there goes Timmy Barton on the inside of the 2, and Faulkner already trying to have a look under the 69 as Blake Chandler back on the Challenge Series, the runner-up in the championship last year, having a few good runs in the PC Light Series. Not as good as we thought he would be, but he's doing pretty well for his rookie year. Ethan Collins currently running in 16th place, avoiding the trouble, battling with Lucy Barton, who has been involved in trouble. Warren Majeski hasn't been either, doing his thing. And there goes Ryan Faulkner for 2nd place. There goes Timmy Barton on the inside of Corbin Dempsey. She saw him get stuck behind the 69, forced their way in, and there she goes, 3 wide there, almost between Johnson, Dempsey, and Richler. Ashley Richardson and Riley McKee catch that little group, but Peter Johnson hangs on, and Allison Smith is gonna try an undercut. She's gonna try the strategy that won her Ohio. She's gonna pit under green and see if she can survive a green flag run to recover her laps, as Mac Henley, currently running in 27th place, just had a lot of problems earlier on, and he's just been dropping. He dropped back a few laps and is just hanging on. Ryan Faulkner now battle for the lead. Tammy Barton right there, the top 3 under a blanket. Lee Schmidt trying to hang on, but Faulkner forces the way on the inside. But Lee Schmidt's gonna try to have a better run on the outside of the corner, but Faulkner has such a good run. And look at the launch. The 43 gets on the outside. What a move. While Becky Pellerin tried to get position, stacks the 03, gets loose, hits McKinley, and there goes the 27 around. And there's smoke billowing out of the 27, your championship leader, done for the afternoon, as Lee Schmidt is able to hang on against Ryan Faulkner. But Faulkner, Ryan, the caution's out. The caution's out. He slows down. He's not conceding the position back. Ryan, buddy, you gotta give the position back before you pit. He's not giving the position back. That's gonna be a penalty, isn't it? That is definitely gonna be a penalty. Ryan, what are you doing, son? Son, what are you doing? Because, yeah, that was obvious. That was obvious this was gonna happen. Lee Schmidt's back on the lead because Ryan Faulkner gets the end of the longest line penalty for passing under yellow in the most predictable penalty I have seen. Lee Schmidt leads the field to the green. Ryan Faulkner has to start at the back, and he's gonna have to hustle all the way back again to remain a title contender. This has a big hit on points, and Lee Schmidt leads away. Timmy Barton trying to hang on against Corbin Dempsey. Peter Johnson hanging on to 4th place on those older tires, while Blake Chandler and Lee Schmidt battle with him for the 4th spot. Ashley Richardson dropped back a little bit. She's never been a very good driver in these types of tracks like Winchester and Salem, high bank, really tiny. So she's having a very good run with another veteran. Ronnie Samples having a very good run. Caitlin Richler running also pretty well in 8th place, very consistent. Kate Taylor and Lucy Barton climbing back into the top 10. Hibiki Murata and Kristen Young actually running 11th and 12th. Good runs for the 52 and the 33, considering they got involved in trouble in the first caution, but they're running well. Don't bother. So Ryan Faulkner having to climb back up again. He's battling with the 99 and the 74. The problem is all those 3 have tires at the same let's use the word bandwidth. They are spent the same manner, which means you can't quite gain if you don't have much newer tires. As you see there, Lucy Barton fighting very closely with Kate Taylor. Warren Majeski up in the wall, is gonna lose a ton of positions. There goes the 03, the 63, the 85 is gonna try to make a move on the inside. He gets a little bit loose, goes a little bit too low. He's gonna try to move away. He's gonna try to give his son a little bit of space right there together with Boyd Abbott. And you see there how he got loose, lost his marbles very early on, got very loose. Whoa! 79. Lloyd McIntyre forces his way by, tries to pass the 89, can't quite do it. The 89 hangs on, and as you see right there, Allison Smith and Charlie Faulkner are gonna fall a lap down to the 43, and Faulkner doesn't even bother. He's just gonna give the space, because right now, if he stays where he is, he gets the championship lead back. He just needs to, like, just bring it very slowly home, as there's contact there. Rick Lewis around. Ryan Faulkner, Boyd Abbott make contact. Rick Lewis is around, stops on the apron. Miss him. Oh, no. They are gonna stack up low. Ronnie Samples, Kristen Young flying in. Ethan Collins and Joey Anderson, Scott Overton, and Warren Majeski flew in. Got a lot of damage. They slowed down. But then you see there Ashley Richardson gets together with Charlie Faulkner. Kristen Young slowed down, but Lucy Barrington didn't slow down enough, and Young just barreled in, just like Warren Majeski barreled in, got hit by Scott Overton. That's a lot of damage when they slow down to a crawl. And surprisingly enough, only Majeski was done for the day in this. However, Scott Overton lost a lap. The 7 has a lot of damage. He keeps going in and out of the pits trying to get repairs on, and he's only going to be able to do it after the pits reopen during the green flag run. So when the green flag drops, Lee Schmidt leads away. Ronnie Sample's going to hop right back into the pits, and he's going to try to get that car repaired as, well, quick as possible, but that's not going to prevent him from losing 4 laps on track, as Lee Schmidt leads away over Debbie Martin as the tires continue to get spent and they continue to get a little more evened out. Lee Schmidt starts to get a little bit of a edge over Tammy Martin as we try to get a green flag run going on, as Ronnie Samples about to be lapped again. Peter Johnson, his damage means he's now running the modified in 9th place, battling with Hibiki Murata, who has the rear end all kicked up. Despite the damage in that stack up, the 16 of Ethan Collins running fairly well. Lucy Barrington running in 12th place, battling with Megan McDonald and Ryan Faulkner. Ryan Faulkner running right there inside the top 15, despite the trouble he's been involved in earlier on. That's his second caution he gets involved in today. Corbin Dempsey catching Tammy Barrington as Lee Schmidt catches Ronnie Samples to lap him. And Blake Chandler, not a lot of trouble, kept that car clean as a whistle, running in 4th place. He started way back. We were talking earlier on how he did not have a very good qualifying effort, but he just missed trouble. As you see there, the now fiancés, Riley McKee and Caitlin Mishler running 5th and 6th. A very good run for HQS Racing, both obviously confirmed to return to that car. But one thing we've been hearing is that as that team is going to become Connor Swift Racing next season, we've been hearing rumblings that they might have a 3rd car with more drivers running full-time as well, because the O2 has almost gotten that provisional standing spot, and even if it doesn't, we're hearing they're gonna run that car the full season, cycling between Emily Pauvin, Carly Ellison, Thomas Kuller, and Lexi Percy. That's something we've been hearing on, but we don't know. One name we have heard also is the Bridge Touring car driver, the older sister of Lexi Percy, Hannah Percy, running in the O2 as well. As you see there, Ashley Richardson dropped behind with the damage that she got from the stack up. She's running together with Boyd Abbott, as you see right there. As we're approaching the halfway point, Hibiki Murata battling with Peter Johnson as they lap the 74 of Rick Lewis. Lucy Barton right there trying to join into the top 10 as well, together with Ryan Faulkner battling to stay in the top 10 as the 62 gets lapped by the leader. 74 about to be lapped. Ethan Collins trying to infiltrate himself inside the top 10, not quite able to, as Lee Schmidt has been managing the lap cars in this green flag run, has held on, and Timmy Barton slowly gaining a distance in 2nd place, as Ryan Faulkner, that's his 3rd one, spins around. Peter Johnson, Hibiki Murata involved. All 3 spin around in the battle for 9th place. Hibiki Murata getting together. Contact! Allison Smith flying in. The 89 was trying to get back in line. Allison Smith was trying to go lower, and they end up hitting each other quite heavily. A lot of damage in the 89. A lot of damage in the 200. And look at the smoke billowing out of the 89, billowing out of the 200. Ryan Faulkner's falling down day is done. He is out of it very early at the halfway point. That is certainly going to give him a hit on points, though he's still going to outscore the championship leader. Still, not a good thing to happen. After everyone pits, the 43 leads away, but they all now have new tires, and Lee Schmidt leads away, hanging on against Demi Barton. Barton trying to win her first race in the Challenge Series, still hasn't been able to. She's getting angry about it. Well, not angry, more frustrated that this hasn't happened yet, because she's been dominating the rookie discussion so far. She has been out of the field of rookies. Though she hasn't won, she's been the most consistent, the fastest, the strongest. Despite the fact that Joey Anderson, Allison Smith, and Kendra Brittany won races, they have been below her in terms of consistency. While you see there Denny Wright running now inside the top 20, missed a lot of trouble, getting a top 20 for it. Pretty good result. Despite being on the modified together with Ronnie Samples right there, Chris Endicott also just surviving around, doing his thing. Inside the top 20 as well, Lloyd McIntyre, again, surviving, doing his thing, just letting the laps wind down as they count down. Just work with it. You ride with Lee Schmidt as he gets hounded on by Demi Barton. Barton getting closer but not close enough to make a move. Corbin Dempsey right behind them, also getting closer but not close enough to make a move on the 97. Blake Chandler losing. He's just losing space towards the 97, the 81, and the 43. A little further behind from them, Mega McDonald surviving all the way through 12th place, 13th place there. Charlie Faulkner hanging on. He stands to gain a lot of points if things stay the way they are for him. He's running fairly well. Riley McKee also running fairly well, battling for 6th place with Kate Taylor. 5th place is Caitlin Richler. Richler catching the number 8 right there as the leaders on lap 120 are about to lap Scotty Overton and Lloyd McIntyre. McIntyre hanging on the inside, Overton hanging on the inside, and there goes Corbin Dempsey, tries to make a move on Demi Barton, unable to. And you see right there how Tammy caught the 43 as he tries to manage the lap cars. He tries to force the 62 under the 79. Can't quite do it. So now he's going to have to force himself under the 62. Is it going to be enough? They're forming a little adventure line again. That's something we tend to see on road courses, but on short tracks it can get ugly when they form a line and they just try to follow each other. Tammy Martin's going to drive deep on the inside and she's going to take the lead. Lee Schmidt took his sweet time to lap the 62. Tammy Barton saw it and she decided, don't mind if I do. And new race leader, Tamara Barton. And she's now gonna lap the 79 with the help of using the 62 as a pick with a little push from the 81, who's more than happy to help his teammate, the former 2015 series champion. 79 on the wall, gave a little bit too much space and has the wall to get from it. He gets the wall from that. So the 81 running in second place, chasing down the 97. Is it enough? Not enough. Lee Schmidt trying to find a little space. Not enough either. So these three under a blanket but can't quite make the move. As you see there, the second group of cars there. Chandler running 4th, Richler running 5th, Kate Taylor gets 6th place past the 22 using the lap car of Scott Overton as a pick. Likewise, Lucy Barton getting 7th place. So Ryan McKee falls down to 8th place, trying to catch back after losing the 6th position. But right now, for a driver that we know is a super speedway guy, not a short track guy, this 8th place is very good. A better even performance is the 9th place by Ethan Collins, running inside the top 10. He has been, okay, let's be honest, he has been nowhere this season, compared even more so to his teammate Kendra Brittany. Kendra is guaranteed a provisional spot next year with the 26. Trouble! Prospective championship leader Charlie Faulkner, puncture on the left rear, and he has to head into the pits. He's gonna lose 3 laps under green, and this is not what he wanted. He was running inside the top 15. He's gonna fall down. He's gonna remain inside the top 20. Danny right into the wall. Corbin Dempsey gets loose off the corner, trying to make a move for the lead. Caitlin Richler is gonna steal the lead. Caitlin Richler catches the leaders as the 71 slow down the whole line. You see how the 81 dove. You're gonna watch the onboard again. So the 79 slows down the line. So Tammy Barton lost the lead. Corbin Dempsey, she recovers the 2nd place with that launch on the outside. Then Danny Wright hits the outside wall. slows down, backs that whole line. She tags the 81. The 81 hits the inside wall. Caitlin Richler comes flying in on the outside. Blake Chandler gets third, and Caitlin Richler is your new race leader with a daring move. A daring move from the Alaskan short tracker. Tammy Barton trying to get something happen, trying to make it happen, not enough at all. Kristen Young now battling for 10th place, right reared by the 79. The 79 around, contact with Ethan Collins, Joey Anderson involved, Mega McDonald involved. 6th caution of the race. A lot of trouble. Kristen Young and Mega McDonald are gonna get a lot of damage as Joey Anderson could not miss the 33 that did a number on the suspension and that did a number on the radiator of the 34, and as such 33 and 34 done for the night with under 70 laps remaining. Corbin Dempsey and Lucy Barton decide to go to the pits, and they are the only ones that do it. They're gonna restart in the back. Caitlin Richler is gonna restart at the lead still, and she's gonna have a little bit of daylight between her and Tammy Barton. Blake Chandler running third. Kate Taylor now gets the 4th place back inside the top 5, and we are under 60 laps to go as we open lap number 144. 67 laps remain here in Salem. Charlie Faulkner got the lifeline, not enough. He needs a couple more cautions. So the one thing he doesn't want is for this one to run green until the end, because then he will not be able to finish inside the top 15 unless there's a lot of mechanical failures. Tammy Barton catching the number 2, Ethan Collins. Problems for the 16. He has a problem there. He has to pit again for damage. He's gonna lose a few laps, so his performance also gets put on a damper. But he's gonna be able to finish inside the top 20 because there's only 19 cars left. Kate Taylor is running in now 4th place, trying to chase down Blake Chandler as Blake Chandler tries to chase down Tammy Barton. You see there Corbin Dempsey on newer tires battling with Lee Schmidt and Riley McKee. Lee Schmidt ended up dropping a few positions with the wild dives and moves that were happening when Corbin Dempsey got tagged by the 97. Joey Anderson, despite the damage he got from hitting the 33 last caution, still running 13th, but he's considerably slower than the 85. You see how the 85 is slowly catching him as we are under 45 laps to go. Caitlin Richler continues to lead as we enter the final quarter of this race. And Tammy Barton trying to catch, Corbin Dempsey trying to pass. And Corbin Dempsey, he needs to get a clean track. He needs to pass the 25 and the 8, because if he does it, he has newer tires than the top 2. He could win this race on those newer tires. Likewise, don't forget Lucy Barton. Lucy Barton can pass Corbin Dempsey. Then she's on the catbird seat as they pass the 25 quite easily. And they're both going to try to set up a move on number 8. Chandler hanging on, hoping for another caution. If we get another caution, they get the pit. So Corbin Dempsey and Lucy Barton still restart ahead, but they're gonna have the old tires. The dynamic will shift. But there goes Corbin Dempsey. Look at how easy he does. Smooth as butter. Smooth as freaking butter. There goes Lucy Barton again, but Chandler still fighting. Chandler has a chance to fight the damaged 98, but Barton still has newer tires. Then you see how they're 30 laps to go. Corbin Dempsey is all over the 97. The 97 can't quite pass the number 2, and there goes the 81 on the inside. That's gonna be the move. That could be one move that makes or breaks his race, and jeez Louise, that was easy. It's like Tammy wasn't even there. The 81 takes 2nd place, and now he sets his sights on Caitlin Richler, and he's gonna get a little bit of assistance. Lloyd McIntyre more than happy to hog up the line, and here comes Corbin Dempsey, and now we get a venture line once again. Caitlin Richler is gonna set up the move as soon as she can to try to get the 79 to slow down the 81 instead, and she's on the inside. Look at Tammy Barton go! Oh, not enough, but she's gonna try again. 25 laps remain, but it's still not enough. This is tightening up. And there goes Lloyd McIntyre. Saw what was gonna happen, just backed off on the corner. And now Corbin Dempsey has clean track and only Caitlin Richler as a target as Lucy Barton catches her sister. And Tammy Barton hanging on. She knows she can win Rookie of the Year. She finishes, if she wins this race, she locks Rookie of the Year outright. But she has older tires, she can't quite do it. Hibiki Murata battling with Kate Taylor for the 7th position there. 8th and 9th right there. Lee Schmidt and Riley McKee also having very solid runs, surviving. But Lee Schmidt could have had a better run if he had done a better strategy. But right now you see the top 4 under a blanket as they catch the 62 of Scott Overton to lap him once again. I think he's going to be on the 3rd lap now. And a lot of it is due to the damage. And you see there how Caitlin Richler is not quite able to find the line. Corbin Dempsey is going to try to be as aggressive as possible. 20 laps remain here in Salem. And now Caitlin Richler has the line. She's on the inside of the 62. And she's going to go by the Grandy Tour winner. She's trying to get her 2nd win in a short track in 2 years. She won the season opener last year in Lakeland. But she hasn't been able to win this season. Riley has won at the New York Auto Ring, but otherwise HQS Racing hasn't been able to do it. But there goes Corbin Dempsey, smooth as silk, easy breezy. No way. Caitlin Richler couldn't even put a fight. Corbin Dempsey is your new race leader. Chris Endicott wide in turn 3 into the wall. They ride on the inside with only 15 laps to go. Trouble for Chris Endicott as he slowly gets caught by the leaders. As you see there, Caitlin Richler and the Bartons continue to battle for the 2nd position. But there goes Tammy Barton on the inside with a push from her older sister. And there goes the 97 for 2nd place. The 98 trying to get 3rd. And they get it. They get it easily when they get to turn number 3 and 4. And now the 97, 98, 2nd and 3rd. Number 2, 4th. And I believe the 8 remains in 5th. More problems for Scott Overton. Engine issues. And his day comes to a grinding slowdown. With only 10 laps to go, you see there how Dempsey laps the number 63. You see the Barringtons, Richler. Then you see Kate Taylor running 5th. Hibiki Murata 6th. Blake Chandler 7th. Riley McKee. Boyd Abbott running inside the top 10. Closing the top 10 is Lee Schmidt, who was leading earlier on but was unable to make more use of that. As you see Hibiki Murata hanging on to the 6th position with a little bit of a gap over the number 8 of Blake Chandler. Boyd Abbott battling with the 22 of Riley McKee on the outside. There goes Ronnie Samples in the inside. Lee Schmidt's going to try to set up a move. And there goes Lee Schmidt to the inside. Joey Anderson into the wall with only 8 laps to go. A little bit of trouble. He's running in 13th place. As you watch Corbin Dempsey continue to lead on, he laps the 71 of Danny Wright. Danny Wright having a very solid run so far, despite all the trouble he was involved earlier. While the Bartons now having to lap the 63, they are battling for 2nd place. The all gloves are off according to radio communications. They're gonna battle for the 2nd position. Lucy's gonna try to make a move on the inside with newer tires. There goes Lucy side by side, and using the 63 as a pick, the older sister puts a damper on the little sister's race. Tammy Barton falls to 3rd place. But at the business end of the field, white flag is in the air. Corbin Dempsey is going to put 13th place. Joey Anderson a lap down. 12th place, Ashley Richardson right ahead of him. But he is not going to make a move under the 58. And rounding out turn number 4, Corbin Dempsey is going to get win number 2 of 2018. Corbin Dempsey steals the lead late on fresh rubber, opened a large 5-second gap, and claims his 2nd win of 2018. The 2015 champion punches his ticket squarely into championship contention when it matters the most. When it came to clutch time, he delivered. 2nd place is another one of those clutch time performances. Lucy Barton finishes in 2nd, getting a critical finish that keeps her own title hopes alive, as distant as may be. 3rd place goes to Tammy Barton, with her not quite clinching Rookie of the Year. You're gonna see it up next. But she's made it nearly impossible for any of the other full-time rookies to catch her. 4th place is Caitlin Richler, who has led nearly a quarter of the race but couldn't hold it on with older tires, while Kate Taylor is the lone Luke Star car to survive the night, salvaging a 5th place result. Alright result in a very difficult day for that team. And rounding out the top 10 is Hibiki Murata in 6th, Blake Chandler in his 4th and final start in the Challenge Series for 2018, and that's his 3rd top 10. followed by Riley McKee, Boyd Abbott, and Lee Schmidt. Very good performances by those three drivers. With trouble finding most of the championship contenders tonight, we have a new points leader. Charlie Faulkner takes over the top spot by only 10 points over Becky Pellerin. Your race winner Corbin Dempsey jumps 3 positions to 3rd place. And that Troy Revere penalty really shows its impact now. Without it, Luke Pellerin would still be 3rd. Instead, he's 5th. Ryan Faulkner sits 4th. Thomas Tucker is 6th. Now 84 points back. Starting to fade a little bit from realistic contention, but he's still within striking distance. While Lucy Barton is your final mathematically eligible driver since Riley McKee fell below the 378-point threshold needed to remain in the hunt, while Lee Schmidt and McHenley Close are top 10. In the Owners' Championship, the 50 maintains a comfortable lead on the 24th place, more than a full race ahead of the 25, with only one race remaining where that margin matters. Your top 24 provisionals are essentially set. But the battle for the top 32 provisionals for 2019, that's where it gets really interesting. The Overton 23 sits 267 points clear of 33rd place, but the HQS 02 isn't safe. 3 cars are within 121 points, and with the Duels and Tryhard 500 both counting towards owner points alongside the next race, plenty can still change. Plus, if the 16th crew and Neat doesn't play their cards right down that final stretch, they could find themselves outside looking in. In the Rookie Challenge, Tammy Barton improves her average just a little bit, and that little bit is just about enough to eliminate Joey Anderson from mathematical contention. So right now, there are no more full-time contenders for Tammy Barton's crown. While you see right there, Brenda Masner, Saw Pritchett, and Dirk Williamson can catch her, but that's only because they haven't had as many starts, which means they can improve their averages, but the scenarios are so distant they would basically need to win, and Tammy Barton would need to finish last on the next 3 races. So we're doing this because they are mathematically eligible, but realistically, it's nearly impossible. However, there's still a lot riding on these final races for a lot of people, as you can see. And next up, we head down to Texas for round 33 of 36, the Gaskin Gaskets 150 at the Lone Star Supercell, the final time the North American Auto Club shares the track with the PCC Cup Series this season. We'll see you there.